I'm Emily. You wouldn't know it from the way I'm speaking to you now, but I was raised Old Order Amish, the plain kind, with the horse and buggy and the church in somebody's home every other Sunday. And in our community, you learn a way of living that the rest of the world has mostly forgotten. You learn to look at a problem, really look at it, and ask yourself what the good Lord put right in front of you that could solve it. You don't spend good money on a thing you can fix with your own two hands. That was my grandmother's rule, and my mother's before her. They used to say the Lord gave us heads so we wouldn't go running to somebody else every time a little trouble shows up. Now here I am, and you might say I'm breaking a few restrictions by even sitting here and telling you all this. But I've come to believe that some knowledge isn't meant to be hoarded. Some knowledge is meant to be shared. It's meant to be free, for every household, for every family who could use a hand. So I want you to do something for me before we go any further. Go get yourself a little copybook or a diary and a pen. I mean it. Go get them. I'll wait. You're going to want to write this down. I'm going to share things today that most folks pay good money to have done for them, and I want you to have it all written down where you can find it when you need it. If you don't have a diary, a piece of paper will do. But a diary is better. A diary is yours, private, something you can keep and pass along. So here we go. There is a little brown bottle in your medicine cabinet right now. Or if it's not there, it's in your grocery store for about $1. It's hydrogen peroxide, just the plain old 3% kind. And the pest control companies and the cleaning product companies would rather you forget that bottle exists, because that little brown bottle handles most of the bugs and the mold and the critters that folks pay hundreds of dollars to be rid of. Hundreds. And I'm going to tell you the secrets my grandmother taught me, and then some things I learned on my own by paying attention to how nature works. Write this down, because you are going to want to remember it. Let's start with the gnats, the little black flies that hover around your houseplants like they own the place. You've seen them. If you have plants indoors at all, you've seen them. Those are fungus gnats, and they are a real nuisance. What you might not know, what took me by surprise the first time, is that one single female gnat can lay as many as 200 eggs in a single week. 200. That is how a tiny annoyance becomes an infestation almost overnight. Most people run out and buy a spray, or worse, they call an exterminator. And that's money spent that didn't need to be. Here's what I do. I mix 1 part of that 3% peroxide with 4 parts plain water. Then I let the top inch or 2 of the soil dry out, and I water the plant thoroughly with that mixture. You will see the soil start to fizz and bubble. Do not let that worry you for a second. That is exactly what you want. That fizzing means the peroxide is breaking down into water and oxygen, and in the process, it's killing all those larvae and eggs hidden in the soil. And here's the beautiful part, that extra oxygen actually gives the plant roots a boost. So you are getting rid of the pests and feeding your plant at the same time. 1 or 2 treatments about a week apart is usually all it takes to send those gnats packing for good. Write that down. 1 part peroxide, 4 parts water. Wait for the soil to dry a bit, then water. Now, mold. This one surprised me when I first learned it, because everyone reaches for bleach the moment they spot mold in the bathroom. But here's the thing about bleach. It does fine on hard, non-porous surfaces like tile. But on porous surfaces, like wood, drywall, and grout, bleach can't reach deep enough. It kills the mold you can see on top, but it leaves the roots alive underneath. So the mold comes right back. Peroxide, on the other hand, bubbles its way down into those tiny pores. It reaches the mold that bleach cannot touch, and it doesn't fill your home with harsh fumes or leave a chemical residue behind. Pour the 3% peroxide straight into a spray bottle, no watering down, and spray it right onto the moldy spot until it's soaked. Let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and you'll see it bubble as it works. Then just scrub with a brush or a rag and wipe it clean. For stubborn spots, sprinkle on a little baking soda for extra scrubbing power. This works on bathroom tile, shower walls, window sills, and even on clothing. But be careful. Peroxide has a mild bleaching effect, so if you're cleaning anything coloured or dark wood, always test it on a small hidden spot first. Better safe than sorry. And I want to be serious for a moment. Mold is not just an eyesore. It can cause allergies, asthma, and other breathing problems. They say that between 10 and 50% of homes have a real mold problem, often tucked away where nobody thinks to look, under sinks, behind appliances, in air ducts. So getting rid of it properly matters. But here is a line you should remember. If the mold patch is bigger than about 10 square feet, that's roughly a 3-foot by 3-foot square, the experts say to call a professional. And one rule I will not let you skip. Never ever mix peroxide with vinegar. When you combine those two, they create peracetic acid, which gives off harsh fumes and can irritate your skin and eyes. Use them separately, not together. Ever. Now, ants. You've had this morning. You walk into the kitchen and there's a whole parade of ants marching across the counter like they've taken ownership. Your first instinct might be to grab a chemical spray. But those products often have ingredients I do not want near my family's food. Peroxide kills ants on contact. The oxidizing action damages their protective shells and breaks down everything holding them together. To make your own ant spray, mix about 1 part peroxide to 2 parts water. Spray it directly on the ants you see and along the trails they're following. Ants leave behind scent trails, invisible paths for their buddies. Peroxide breaks those trails down, which confuses the other ants and keeps them from following. Now, I will be honest with you. This works on the ants you can see and spray directly. It won't wipe out the whole colony the way a bait trap will. But for ants on your counter or in your bathroom, when you'd rather not use harsh chemicals, it is a great first defense. The same trick works on those little moth-like flies you see around your kitchen or bathroom sink. Those are drain flies, sometimes called sewer gnats. They breed down in the gunk that builds up inside your pipes. All that slimy mess of grease, hair, soap scum, and food bits. Most people don't even know they have them until the population explodes, but all you need is a bottle of peroxide. Pour about a cup of the 3% peroxide straight down the drain. You will hear it fizz as it hits that buildup. That fizzing breaks down the slimy layer where the drain flies lay their eggs, and it kills the larvae and eggs on contact. Let it sit for at least an hour. Overnight is even better. Then flush it with hot water. Do this once a day for about a week to make sure you have broken the breeding cycle completely. And even if you have no drain flies right now, here is a trick my mother taught me. Pour a little peroxide down your drains once a week to keep that gunk from ever forming. No build-up means no breeding ground, and no breeding ground means no drain flies. It clears out funky smells too, since that sludge is what causes the odour. 2 good things from one little effort. When the weather warms up and you want to sit outside, peroxide can help keep mosquitoes off you. There are few things that ruin a nice evening faster than a swarm of mosquitoes. There is no shortage of store-bought repellents and citronella candles, but many are loaded with chemicals or just do not work well. Here is a cheaper way. Fill a spray bottle with equal parts 3% peroxide and water. Spray it generously around your porch, your deck, wherever you plan to sit. Mosquitoes are put off by peroxide, and direct contact can kill them outright. There is even a scientific study confirming peroxide has an effect on mosquitoes and their eggs. The catch is that peroxide breaks down quickly in the light, so the effect does not last forever. You will need to spray again before each gathering or after it rains. But at about $1 a bottle, that is a trade most people are happy to make. You can also go after standing water in your yard, bird baths, plant saucers or puddles. Mosquitoes need standing water to breed. Even a bottle cap's worth is enough. A splash of peroxide in that water kills the larvae before they ever grow up to bother you. Spray your sitting area about a half hour before you head out. Hit the chairs, the table legs, the railings, and the shady spots where mosquitoes like to rest. It is not a miracle, I will not pretend it is, but plenty of people find it cuts the mosquitoes down noticeably. In the garden, that same bottle takes care of aphids and other pests. This one is close to my heart because we put so much care into our gardens. If you grow vegetables, herbs, or flowers, you know the frustration of finding your plants covered in aphids, spider mites, or whiteflies. These tiny sapsuckers weaken your plants and can ruin a whole garden. Commercial pesticides work, but they also kill the good insects like bees and ladybugs, and they leave residue on the very food you are trying to grow. That is no way to do it, to my mind. Peroxide gives you a gentler path. Mix 1 teaspoon of the 3% peroxide into 1 gallon of water. Put it in a spray bottle and coat both the tops and undersides of the leaves, because that is where the pests hide. Peroxide works as a contact insecticide, and it is especially good against soft-bodied pests like aphids, spider mites and mealybugs, since they lack that thick, waxy shell. For pests in the soil, use that same 1 part to 4 parts mix I told you about for the gnats. Pour it right into the soil to get the eggs and larvae hiding below. And here is a bonus. Peroxide also helps fight fungal troubles on plants, like powdery mildew. So the same spray that handles the aphids can treat the fungus they leave behind. Just test a single leaf first and wait a day or 2 before you spray the whole plant, especially delicate ones. And always spray in the early morning or late evening, never in the heat of the day, so you do not burn the leaves. Now, peroxide also comes in handy for something less pleasant, cleaning up after mice or rats. Finding signs that rodents have made themselves at home is unsettling, I grant you. But the real danger is what they leave behind. Their droppings and urine can carry serious diseases. The health authorities warn against sweeping or vacuuming rodent droppings, because that sends contaminated particles into the air, where you might breathe them in. Instead, disinfect the area first. Spray the droppings and the area around them thoroughly with 3% peroxide. Let it soak at least 5 minutes. Then carefully wipe everything up with paper towels and place them straight into a sealed plastic bag. Spray the area 1 more time and let it air dry. Now, paying a professional to actually get rid of the rodents might be money well spent. But the clean-up, you can handle yourself just as well. There is another pest peroxide can rescue you from, one most people have never heard of until their favourite plant starts looking sick. They are called thrips. Tiny, slender insects, barely visible to the naked eye, but they do real damage. They feed by puncturing plant cells and drinking the insides, leaving silvery streaks and twisted leaves. Professional treatment for thrips can cost a fair bit, but peroxide gives you a simple answer. Mix equal parts 3% peroxide and water in a spray bottle. Spray it generously onto the soil of the affected plant, making sure the top inch is soaked. That goes after the eggs and larvae. Repeat once a week until every sign of thrips is gone. For the grown thrips on the leaves, give the plant a good rinse with a hose to knock them off, then follow with a light misting of the peroxide solution on the leaves. The key is consistency. They have a quick life cycle, so you have to keep treating the soil weekly to catch each new generation. And then there are fleas. Discovering fleas in your home is the kind of trouble that makes your skin crawl. They bite, they multiply fast, and they are terribly hard to get rid of once they are in your carpets and furniture. Professional flea treatments can run into hundreds of dollars, but peroxide can play a real part in your flea-fighting plan. It works by damaging their protective shell, which dries them out and kills them, and it destroys the eggs, which is crucial because killing the grown fleas without killing the eggs just means a whole new generation hatches. Add peroxide to your laundry when you wash bedding and pet beds. You can also spray a diluted solution of equal parts peroxide and water onto carpets and upholstered furniture. But here is a warning I will not let you overlook. Never, ever put peroxide directly on your dog or cat. It will irritate their skin, and it is not safe for animals. Stick to treating your home and talk to your vet about the right treatments for your pets. Here is a solid plan. Vacuum every carpet and rug thoroughly. That physically removes a huge number of fleas, larvae, and eggs. Empty the vacuum right away into a sealed bag and throw it out. Wash all bedding and pet beds in the hottest water the fabric can take, with some peroxide added. Spray your carpets and furniture with the diluted solution and let it dry completely. Then repeat the whole process every few days for at least 2 or 3 weeks to catch the fleas as they keep hatching. So that is the long and short of it. 1 ordinary bottle of hydrogen peroxide, handling pest troubles that might otherwise cost you a good deal of your hard-earned money. Let me leave you with some words of caution. Always use the 3% peroxide for your household needs. The stronger concentrations can be dangerous and should only be handled with proper care. Keep peroxide away from your eyes and mouth. Wear gloves if your skin is sensitive. Store it in a cool, dark place, since it breaks down when light hits it. And remember, peroxide is wonderful for small and middling pest problems and for staying ahead of them. But if you are facing a severe infestation, real damage to the structure of your home, or anything involving truly dangerous pests, that is when it is good sense to bring in a licensed professional. There is no shame in knowing when a job is bigger than your 2 hands. But for everything else, that little brown bottle has got you covered. We are plain people where I come from. We believe in stretching what the good Lord provides. We believe in wasting nothing and solving our own troubles when we can. I have broken some restrictions to share this with you today. I have stepped outside the bounds of what I was taught to keep quiet about. But I believe that knowledge, real knowledge that can help a family, is meant to be free. It is meant to be passed hand to hand. I hope these ideas serve your household as well as they have served mine. Write them down in that diary you went and got. Keep them safe, use them well, take care of each other, and God bless.